All right, peace, everybody. Peace. What's going on? Back with another video. Before we start, I want y'all to listen to something. Check this out. Bill Gates farmland.
According to Ag Funder News, today, Bill Gates owns 242,000 acres of farmland in 19 states. In addition, he owns 25,750 acres of transitional land and 1,234 acres of recreational land for total land holdings of 268,984 acres.
Y'all heard that? Now, I was having a conversation. Well, I guess it will be yesterday now. But I was having a conversation yesterday with my mother, one of my brothers, and my cousin. And we were talking about this. And it was so crazy because we were like, why do Bill Gates own all that farmland? Like he owned close to like a quarter of a million acres of land. And it's like for someone who came from the tech world, why are you trying to get into agriculture, and why now at the height of everything that's like the transition of the world, where they're trying to make new rules and laws, and then we got these new food regulations because of this new strand of the avian flu that's like what they're reporting is like killing like millions, tens of millions of birds, which the result of it is driving the price of eggs up because now they're like a hot commodity now because they only there's only so few of them now because most of them are dying out due to these vicious disease. And so it's like the price of food is going up just like the price of like the oil and everything else with the war and the pandemic and everything. And I remember that infamous interview, what was it, June 23rd, 2020, when Bill Melinda had an interview when he was saying, well, we got to get prepared for the next wave and it's going to be more deadlier. And I think that what next wave is, part of the actual sickness, but the other part is the food. Like, you got to think, whoever controls food controls the world because we got to eat, right? I'm sitting here snacking on something right now. But that's real talk. And you got so many people now investing in farmland, all the natural, like private farm owners, they like owners, they all but gone. All the farms down is pretty much government regulated. And that's not even just here in the States. That's throughout the whole world. Because they're saying that all these animals and stuff are catching these diseases and everything, and they got to get the solution, so you can't just be doing like private sales and stuff like that at a maybe like small towns, local towns and stuff, but like at like in cities and stuff, you can't do it. And we're going on the verge where they're starting to go into small towns and all that stuff too, and doing like it's all about control, and that's why I believe that Bill and so many others they start moving in this direction because they understand the market, they understand the way of the world. And like I say, he or she who controls food controls the world. And that's pretty much what it is. Like, did y'all know that he also invested in the Beyond Meats, all that artificial stuff? That's old good old William. That's him right there. And I'm like, this dude was like selling like microchips and everything. And wasn't really good at it because there was so many viruses in that. So how can you put trust? Look, one thing's for sure, two things are certain. All this stuff we see going on throughout the world right now, yeah, I don't see like some type of pattern. If you pay attention, um, or if you ever read the book The Chaos Theory, order comes through chaos. I know that, right? What's up? What she saw? Miss Lady says Bill and Melinda also believe in population control. They also wanted BP to be the first to take the shot. Yup. You mean black people, right? Yup, of course. That's facts. And guess what? A bunch of black people were the first ones that took the shot too. Like, so, I mean, the bad part about it is that, like, us as a people, as black people, we like so easily swayed. All we need is someone that we look up to as like a stature and as far as money and power, because that's really what it is. We look up to people with money and power, and once they come about and says something that we need to do, most of us follow suit. And I think it's just like a like a mental conflict or something, just from like through slavery or something over here. Like I just don't understand, because y'all peep, like we like a lot of, like, because you can eat, like, you can even, and it's so subliminal too. Like I'm not even saying that people doing it deliberately. Like a lot of times it do be subliminal. Like you ever notice, like, if you was like at work or something, like certain black people, like they'll talk to you amongst each other and everything, but as soon as that white person or a supervisor or something come around, they talk to them a certain way, but they talk to you a certain way. Like they whole attitude switch up, and it's like, now I understand. Uh, your job is one thing, but I'm not talking about like disrespectful. I'm just talking about like how it kind of remind you of the, yeah, boss, yeah, yes sir, yes ma'am, like kind of on that effect. And that's really what it is. But that's a whole other topic in itself. But as far as Bill Gates and and like you said, Melinda, they all about this. And the crazy part about it is they're like the puppets. They're the face of all this stuff. Y'all think that they're really the ones pulling the strings and stuff? Y'all ever heard of the 13 families? There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, that goes into the realms of the conspiracies and all that stuff. So I kind of really don't want to tap too much into that right now. I just want to kind of talk about where it was kind of like what we see happening right now in the news, and just something that we can just kind of use logic and deduction and just say, all right, like, what the fuck is going on? And when you use logic and reasoning, and you like see everything, you like, all right, there's a war going on at the same time as a pandemic going on, at the same time, there's like an abundance of violence all over the world, while simultaneously the elite saying, um, it's all good because by 2030, you know, all it's gonna be different because you're gonna own nothing and be happy for it. Wow. Um, Bill also buying up farmland and trying to use some type of dust to block out the sun. Like, did y'all Google all this stuff? Like, none of this stuff is conspiracy. All this stuff is like public knowledge. It's just that most times, a lot of people like us, we don't look into this stuff. Like, it's crazy. Right. Michelle says I was just talking about this with my friend. What a coincidence. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny too because yesterday when I was talking about my mom, we was I was showing him this video of Russell because I'm subscribed to Russell Brand and I listen to like a lot of his content and she when she was watching, she was like she was paying attention to his subscribers and the views, and she was like, damn, that many people watching this stuff. And I was like, yeah, because like people starting to pay attention now. And I think the whole bad part, or it could have been a backfire of the whole pandemic, was that once everybody lost their jobs and everybody was like stuck in the house, more and more people started like running to the internet and really start paying attention to stuff. And like I guess you would call it a great awakening, people were saying or whatever. And people just was like really saying stuff. So and they kept going on it from there. Now granted, I was one of those people looking up stuff since like 2007, 2008 or whatever. And it's so funny that, you know, 2 years ago, once everything broke down, I'm like, damn, it's crazy. Like, have y'all ever seen the interview with what's my guy name? Aaron Russo. His very last interview he did with Alex Jones back in May or something of 2008, 2009. But it may still be on YouTube. If the full video, because it was like an hour or something long, if the full video not still on YouTube, probably like bits and pieces. But if you type in Aaron Russo, Alex Jones interview, everything that he was saying in that interview was happening right now. Everything that's been happening the last 2 years, he said in that interview back then. And when he was talking about it back in 2008, he was telling him how one of the Rockefeller brothers, I forget which one it was, so I'm not going to make it up, but he was saying one of the Rockefellers was letting him know how everything was happening and how they was planning all that stuff from like the 90s. And here we are today. And our good friend that we the whole topic of this video, he was mentioned in that interview as well. So it's like, again, I asked the question, why the hell is he buying up all this farmland, man? Anybody know? God said ears to ear and eyes to see. Yup. Facts. Straight facts. The sad part about it is that a lot of people don't, though. A lot of people don't. Jack Lowe said control. Yeah. And that's basically what it is. It's all about control. Yo, someone on my Facebook group I posted this video, the video I posted last night or whatever, the one talking about Bill's final solution. I posted that video on my Facebook group, and someone was like, what the dude say? He said, come on, he said, Jesus Christ, come on, like with the conspiracy theories, like you people kill me with that. And I'm like, but can you prove that it's not like none of this stuff? Like, can you prove that it's not? Like all people do is rebut with just like emotions and starts the slanders and all that stuff. But it's like you can't refute the facts if you get out of your emotions and all that stuff and just start paying attention to everything that's going on. Real talk. Now, I said this before. So for the new people who may be watching right now and who may watch later on once this video is done and all that stuff. I watch these Christian movies called Left Behind with Kirk Cameron. They came out like in the 90s. And I think like the last one came out like 2002, 2003, something like that. And it's different ones too. Like it's this company called Cloud 10 Pictures. I don't know if they still around, but they used to make Christian movies too, like what they call like Tribulation, Judgment, The Mark of the Beast, all that stuff. But they all was kind of based around the same stuff, like during the end times and the tribulations, when the rise of the Antichrist and the Mark of the Beast and the rapture, when everybody disappeared. Well, everybody was chosen, all the children, all that stuff. And I remember on the Kirk Cameron movie, the Left Behind series, the first one, like, because I remember the movie, everybody disappeared until like the very end of the movie. And then part 2 and 3 was like, those are my movie. They good movies too. I like watching them just to watch them. But the lead up to the disappearance and the vanishing is so similar to what's happening right now. That's the reason why I brought that up, because it was like wars going on and rumors of wars. It was plagues and stuff happening. And you had these billionaires trying to work out this formula to control the food source and all that stuff, because people needed food, and all that stuff right now is happening in the world today. And I'm just looking at everything, and not to say that stuff like that gonna happen exactly in that movie, because I know it's not, but it's just a depiction of what the Bible says, how the end gonna be or whatever. And if you just pay attention to the damn world, we living in those times right now. So we was also talking about earlier, my mother and us. We were saying how, that's spicy. I'm sitting here eating this Middle Eastern food that I had from earlier. I ain't finished it. It's good. It's just real spicy. But we was talking about buying up land. And like the bad part about it is my family, like the Mells anyway, because it was passed down to like my great-great-grandfather. He left this land down like somewhere down like North Carolina. But we've been up here for so many generations. The ones up here, like that part of the family, I ain't never even been down there. Like I've been to North Carolina, but I've never been to that part. And I own a piece of that land too. And the only person from up here who go down there is one of my uncles. And I be telling him like, yo, let's go down there. I want to check it out and everything. And I'm bringing it up because I was just talking to my mom yesterday about it. And I was saying to her, like, who do I talk to besides my Uncle Rashawn about going down there? And she told me who to call, whatever. Because I'm looking at it like, if that's the case, instead of buying land, we can fucking go down there and check it out. Check with our cousins who's the I guess the managers of it, the groundskeepers of the place or whatever, and see what we can do with that shit. Because I'm all about preparedness, being prepared, trying to like grow my own food and all that stuff. Because all that stuff happening, and like you can do stuff in the city as far as like urban survival type stuff. Like you can, but if we get to a situation where as though we having like all these soup lines because it's like so many people starving and people can't eat whatever, you're gonna have people like trying to break on your property, stealing your stuff. Like my house, like I'm in the burbs, but I'm still like, no, I'm on the outskirts of the city. I ain't far. You know what I mean? Like I don't have like land where as though I'm like far, far away and I got like all this open space or whatever. Like my neighbors in the gate right across the gate. They can hop right over the fence or whatever and start picking tomatoes and all that shit. So it's like, or even possibly you could have like looters and all that stuff, intruders break inside your stuff. If like, let's just say the grid go down and people starving and people looking for stuff, like all that stuff is like potentially possible. It's happening right now in Peru. Like all this stuff that I'm talking about right now is happening right now in Peru because them dudes over there is starving and hungry because of everything that's happening right now in the world. Don't take my word for it. Google it right now. Google Peru. If you just type in Peru, all that shit gonna pop right up. And it's happening over there right now because those are third world countries, like big cities and big like first world countries and all that stuff. We always the last to see the effects of everything because we're like the richest of the lands. We got everything, but soon you always know we slowly see stuff. It happened with the pandemic. We didn't see it. We heard about it and everything. It was all over there and in the small parts and everything, and it slowly creeped up over here, and it happened all around the world. Same thing. So it boggles me when people who look like me don't even care about this stuff and tell me I'm being a conspiracy theorist and all that. Like, it's weird. Miss Lady says, when you see the middle to upper class, why people in the food line, things are bad. Yep. And that's true. So, and we are going to see it too. We're going to see that. We're going to see a whole lot more. Some people in the gated communities, though, they going to be, they going to hold out for a while. And them, them people who got like a whole lot of ammunition and all that stuff, like they'll be good for a minute. But if people from the city start scouring out and going like out or whatever in large groups, then even the people like in those small towns with guns and all that stuff can be overrun by the people in the cities. It'll be probably like a gunfight or whatever, and it's going to be casualties on both sides, but if like let's just say like millions upon millions of people like leaving cities all across the country, that's like hundreds of thousands of people or even millions of people or whatever, like traveling across towns and stuff. It's going to be crazy. But also, a lot of those people going to die too. from the traveling, from starving, from the conditions, the terrain. Like, how can I put it? Like, people who, I'm assuming everybody who watch my videos, mostly people anyway, like, we all in cities and stuff. We all live comfortable. We got like running water. We got inside plumbing and stuff. We not used to, like, yeah, just think about how a lot of us don't like going camping because a lot of us complain that it's outside. Like, oh, we ain't got running water. Or, like, you ever notice, like, if you ever try to go camping and try to plan a camping trip with people, some people that you might love, family members, friends, some of them might complain. They're like, what? Like, I don't want to go camping. I don't want to be bitten. I don't want to. Do they got running waters? Do they got this and that? Like, now imagine damn grid go down. Like, that's gonna be life. Y'all understand? A lot of us ain't gonna survive because people not gonna know how to. I don't think y'all realize that a week without power in cities is bad. Like, just 7 days. That would be because we never experienced it ever. Ain't none of us ever experienced that. It's a lot. I just hope everybody who be like real nonchalant about this stuff. I just hope like y'all be cool, and not just for you, because you can be cool, but most of us got kids and shit. So, like, if you don't do it for you, if you don't give a fuck, at least like give a damn for your kids. Cause I be thinking about that stuff about my kids all the time, and like again, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I probably would have been listening to my voice and saying like, bro, you tripping. Like, if something like that happened, it's not happening here. It's not happening right now. But given the circumstances, given like everything that's happening around the world right now, like all this shit is a possibility. You can't even say it's not. You can't even say like it's highly improbable because it is. Like, the percentages is going up every single day. Y'all paying attention to at all this stuff that's happening over there in Kiev? The death tolls and everything escalate. Do y'all know that a lot of Americans, reporters who went over to Ukraine in the last few weeks, a lot of them came back. Now look, now listen to this though. They went over there because they've been paying attention to the news, like our news, and what are our news telling us? Oh yeah, it's cool. We winning. We backing Putin down. They doing our NATO forces and the Ukrainian forces is blowing Russian forces out the water and all that stuff. So people going over there trying to report on it and see what's going on and help, thinking that it's cool because all right, our peeps is winning, so ain't really nothing to fear. And they going over there finding out ain't none of that shit true. like, ain't none of it true. We're not winning. And that's been happening throughout uh, history. So, and this is right. Like, it's videos on TikTok and Instagram of people talking about it going viral. Like this, look it up. I tell everybody to look shit up because I don't like people trying to take my words and saying that you just making stuff up or you fear mongering and all that stuff. Like everything that I do, or like when people send me information, I look at stuff. We'll be like, yeah, you should. You heard about this, such and such. I look that stuff up because I need to see for myself before I start talking about stuff. So everything I'm saying is look that shit up. It's public record. You just don't pay attention. That's all. It's like people don't care or they don't want to care. And then when when Bill Gates start being the ones who controlling the food soup lines and all that stuff, people gonna start paying attention. Jerry Amito said Russia about to write USA, United States, America's next. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, you ever seen that movie Red Dawn? Like I like the old movie. I like the one with Chris. What's the boy name? Chris Hemsworth. I like that too. The one that came out like in 2012 or something. But I like the old movie. But it was about like when the Koreans and whatever came over here. I think they were Korean, and they took over and everything. Like, and people be like, well, that can't happen because we got long range like weaponry and all that stuff, and we'll stop them way before they'll ever get here. Yes, yes, yes. That's absolutely true. We that can happen. We absolutely will stop them. Um, but we won't be able to stop them if our power was out though. If we had like some type of cyber attack, y'all realize that that the governments, the agencies, they trying to stop these cyber attacks that they saying is like happening coming from the east. Over here. So it's like I'm looking at it like, could this be like some type of test for that? Because all we really need, and like for our power, because like if the grid, like all we really need for our power to go down for only like maybe an hour or so. We don't need that long. Because if they got forces already in the oceans and everything, probably don't even need a damn hour for real. But look, if they got forces already in the oceans and things already in the air, like trust me, we're not the only ones with capabilities of long range missiles and weaponry and stuff. If they already coming and everything, all they need to do is just have like some type of cyber attack and the stuff coming over here, and they start wiping out major targets for before we be able to retaliate back. It'd be crazy. Michelle says, "How do we know that, and who is we? Because I'm not going to be on the front." I can dig it. I ain't mad at you, sis. I'm not mad at you. Because guess what? I ain't been on the front lines either. Look. Like I just told I was just having this conversation yesterday with my mom, my cousin, and my brother. And my cousin talking about, he probably listening to this too. He was like, yeah, he's like, man, if we gotta go, if we gotta get drafted, shoot, I'll volunteer. I'll volunteer to to fight for protect my country. I'm like, shit, well, you go right on here, brother. I'll take me and my kids and we going for the hills, you hear me? like like I'm not doing that. You tripping. I'm not doing that. You gotta catch me. Mm-mm. How many of y'all volunteering? If the war came or whatever, if they asked for volunteer, would you do it before they start drafting? They said they needed like able bodies, and because we're living in a time of, equality and stuff, they calling all hands on decks. They calling men, women, binaries, people who identify as whatever. Like, how many of you will willing to put your life on the line, to protect your country and all that stuff? Miss Lady said suicide mission. I hear you. I hear you. JR said I'll never fight alongside my enemies. Right. Look, I'm all about protecting freedom and liberty and all that stuff, but it's not Hollywood. That shit ain't gonna go down like some Independence Day type, Red Dawn, where we become like the wolves and form like these militias and all of a sudden a bunch of random ass people just start knowing these skills and setting up traps for guerrilla warfare for motherfuckers who was doing that shit for since birth. It ain't happening that way. So me, I'm gonna take my kids, I'm gonna hop in my pickup truck, I'm gonna get somebody keys to my Trailblazer, and we going for the hills. We going out. And I got my camper. Well, not my camper, I'm sorry. My camping tent where I got my Ozark Trail 17 where I can fit 17 people in there. That joint like a damn house. They got a living room, 2 back rooms, and a door, a back door. We'll be living out in the wilderness somewhere. But if you listen to me, if you've been listening to me for a while, that's kind of what I want to do anyway. Like, I want to get away from it all because, like I was like, the whole essence of this video, like, I don't see everything getting better. It's getting worse, and I would rather risk being out in the wilderness or in like just a rural area in isolation by myself. Like, I would risk wolves and foxes, coyotes, all that stuff, bears. Someone was telling me like, well, what about water and all that stuff? Like, well, I'm not a master at all that stuff, but I'm getting better at it every single day. Like I'm honing my craft, becoming like a craftsman. Um, like each job I get, I'm getting better. I'm watching. I'm constantly watching videos on how to like build, do this, do that. So like I learn as I go. I've always been like that, and yeah, like I said, I don't mind taking that. It for me, it's a trade off. Like I don't mind that trade off. Like for real. And truth be told, like I love my kids, but had I not had kids, I would be out there right now somewhere. It's just that my daughters are too young, for me to leave and do all that stuff. And my kids' mothers, they they won't allow me to take the kids with me right now. Anyway, so like it's kind of like but I tell you one thing though, some shit went down. I'm taking them and I'm leaving. The moms, they can either choose to come or they can stay here and deal with whatever. But my girl's coming with me. Don't forget the snakes, spiders, and insects. Yeah, I mean it'd be like that though. But shoot, we got snake spiders and insects in the projects, and I grew up in the projects. So I mean, they ain't about nothing. It might just be a little bigger. He said, "Okay, Tarzan." Listen, I'm at the point in my life where ain't no shame in my game. Like I've always been an introvert. I've always been like kind of to myself. Um, I've always like hung out, be with friends and all that shit. But like at the end of the day, I like being to myself. Always like my privacy, my space, whatever. And as I'm getting older, as I'm looking at the world and everything, I just like isolation so much more. Like it just keeps me calm. Like sometimes I'll drive. Um, it's this village out here. It's called the Pilgrims Village. I don't know what you call it. It's not the Pilgrim. I'm sorry, the Amish Village. And it got like this little pond area and creek and all that stuff. And I drive out there sometimes and sit there and chill and pretend like I'm in a damn forest in the forest, and I just be chilling and just sitting there. I might I might have an L with me and roll up an L or something. But at the same time I'm sitting there chilling and just getting away from it all. Could you be told though, y'all? Seriously, on a serious note, like, do y'all think that when you look at the world today and you look at like the mentalities of everybody and how violence is just accepted, it's just like it's cool. I just seen a video yesterday with Ti hopping on stage, stopping someone, kind of like it wasn't like the Will Smith thing, but the same thing. Um, and just like with the killings, like it I just was watching the news yesterday, and I hate watching the news, But I just so happened to watch the news, and they was talking about, well, because I was at my mom's house, and she always watching the damn news, and they was talking about like how these people got shot up by the church in Philly, not too far from my mom crib, and it just like clarifies like how more and more like, yeah, I gotta get out of here. Like I want to leave the state. I want to leave everything because the powers that be is letting all this stuff run amok just so that whole Agenda 2030 stuff. Like, all right, look, this is my theory because truth be told, I spent the whole video rambling and I actually had a theory to talk about, but this is my theory. I started talking about it earlier, but I didn't talk off. So the chaos theory is where, you know, it seemed like all this unorder is just happening randomly and all that stuff. You know, like there's a bunch of violence and everything happening, murder, mayhem, famine, plague, whatever. And it just seemed like it just constantly keep happening and it's random. Like it's just like happen. But the whole time it's being orchestrated by people who have an agenda in play. Chaos is a way to bring order. War is a way to bring order. So all this stuff is being done to one break people. It's like a some type of psychological a psyop, you would call it. It's to break like people's will. It's to let people see so much terror, so much being so much afraid that people just say, you know what? Come in and help us. Come in and save us. When 2020 happened and all that stuff, when the militaries and all that stuff start coming in, I've seen so many people cheering that the military came in. Like I couldn't believe I seen that. Like people was like, "Yay, the military coming in! The military about to come on our streets and all that stuff." Shit, I made a video not too long ago saying that I kind of want the military to come in because of all this damn violence, knowing how bad that will be. That's opening doors for something even worse. But like, so like I was falling into the trap my damn self, and but once that stuff start happening, once they start coming in and have to keep coming in, like that's gonna be the thing. If they have to keep coming in, then the laws and stuff is going to put in play where there is just going to be military police, all local and federal, you know, agencies, all that stuff are going to be disbanded or upgraded to, you know, military status, and it's going to be like enforcing everything. And all these murders and all this stuff that's happening randomly, especially here in like Philly right now, like the number one murder capital in America. We got like Chicago beat right now, which is sad. And it's like they allowing it because y'all do remember like up until like the early 1900s, people were just getting killed. Criminals, like most criminals, were getting locked up and getting hung, or you know, fire squad or whatever. Like there were a lot of them was getting killed for as their punishment. Like capital punishment was a thing. That stuff is gonna start coming back because it's gonna be like examples need to be had and all that stuff. Like, all right, you do this, we're gonna do this to you. And that's gonna make everyone else think twice about ever doing stuff like that ever again. And I can foresee stuff like that happening. My mom was saying she had a dream about something like that. I didn't dream it, but I can see something like that happening. I'm like, while all that's going on, right? Or the potential of all that's happening. You know what I see every single day? People not um preparing themselves. People worrying about stuff that's not really important. Um I don't know, like once I became like once I became red pilled, like that shit woke me to like, cause red pill. Let me give y'all a little education. If you don't know already, if you know, that's cool. But for the people who don't know, when you hear the term red pill, for me anyway, I view it as in the broad things. Like you got umbrellas, you got that whole, the manosphere thing. But the term red pill really came from the Matrix and all that stuff. And abroad, people will use the term red pill as an awakening, as being awoken from being asleep, and that can be like whatever type of category you put yourself in as. And for me, I just been like awoken to so much dumb shit that's happening in the world, like stuff that I was always ignorant to. Cause that's all it is just ignorance. Like a lot of us, we're just so ignorant to a lot of stuff, and it's not our fault, but it becomes our fault when we don't try to learn to, try to learn to teach ourselves. Because once we get past a certain point, then that ignorance falls on us, completely. Because we should have like type of common sense or whatever. And the bad part about it is, I see people who are my age and older, especially the people who older, but people my age and older who are still like sleep to a lot of stuff that's happening. And it drives me it drives me crazy. It really do. I try not to let it get to me, but I ain't gonna lie, it does. And I've gotten to a point where like I don't try to enlighten people, rather like people that I know on a personal level, because everybody got to live and they learn or whatever. But I just pray for people. I pray that a lot of us get it together, because like I said, it's not really our faults, so you can't really, I can't really look at people and like, damn man, like you fucking the game up. Because it's conditioning, and it's been generations and generations in the making, way before any of us was born. Like all this stuff been in the making. I'm just someone who's just different. I would say I'm spiritually awakened. You know, ain't really nothing really special about me. It just says I'm just spiritually awakened. And um so many people are just too caught up in the flesh. You know, like me too. Like I'm caught up in the flesh as well when I do a bunch of dumb stuff. But I have enough sense to snap out of it and step back and see things for what it is, and start trying to adjust and move accordingly, where a lot of us don't really do that a lot. I mean, um, those those so-called woke folks are charlatans. We, us, not them. Well, I mean, you know what's so funny? I hear the term woke now as a negative term, and I'm still trying to learn like all the stuff or whatever. Because I hear people talk about like woke women being exposed, or woke stuff like that, and I was always someone who thought that, you know, woke was a good thing or whatever. So I mean, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But that's not what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, that's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about something totally different. Like me personally, this is where I have to kind of put myself in a category in my own, because I step out of the status quo of everything, and um I like to rock to the beat of my own horn. Like I don't like to follow everything else, so to speak. You feel me? So when I say woke or awakening, awaken, whatever, woke, however you want to put it, I'm just saying, you know, realizing that things are not what it seems. Things are put in place to fit a narrative, to an agenda, and is me instead of we. I would say me, and it's up to me to adjust and move accordingly. Now, what anyone else do is up to them. But I know personally myself, I really don't like doing what everyone else do anyway. Like when everyone go left, I like going right. Mm. Like Hoover said, if Black America woke, it's over. He did say that, didn't he? And I ain't gonna lie to you, I had no idea what he meant. I got kicked out. You got kicked out of what? Oh, I didn't even see this comment. Let me read this. So Michelle says, and let's not write off zombie apocalypse that they did not write off as fake news. The CDC had instructions on their website on how to survive when they put so many distractions in our face. Yeah, and it's called Complan 8888. It's so ironic that you wrote that, and I'm sorry that I'm just saying this, but that's something that um That was part of the discussion yesterday as well with my family, because my brother couldn't believe it. He was like, yeah, because I was saying what did I say? I said we was talking about leaving the cities. Yeah, that's what it was. So we was talking about leaving the cities, and I said, well, truth be told, we need to be going places where it'll be best suitable to survive a zombie apocalypse. So, of course, everybody start laughing, hee hee ha ha, and all that stuff, right? If I was y'all, I'll be laughing too. If I wasn't me, but this is the thing: the reason why the CDC and the actual Pentagon put together Con Plan 80. Look it up. It's called Con Plan CONPLAN 8888. Con Plan 8888. It's a real Pentagon's guide to surviving the zombie apocalypse. And the reason why they made that guide is because they realized that a zombie apocalypse is the worst type of fucking apocalypse that can ever possibly happen. And if you're good enough to survive a zombie apocalypse, then you have the necessary skills to survive any type of disaster situation possible. So also, it could be some real zombies popping up soon. I don't know. But I do know that they believe that, zombie apocalypse is the worst type of zombie apocalypse, which I don't kind of know how they would actually really know that. But I guess given the stinks of what we see in the zombie genre, it would kind of tells that would be like the worst type of depiction of some type of disaster anyway, other than a planet exploding. But um if you can survive a zombie apocalypse, then you should be able to live like be able to survive like a nuclear apocalypse. If you survive the blast anyway, if you survive the initial blast, then once you come out and the smoke clears, you should be good. But ain't that something though? She said that jab. Right, how about that? I thought about that too. Cause a lot of people got that jab. And yeah, it might help, with transmit as our good old Dr. Fauci say, it might help with prevention and transmissions and all that stuff, but that stuff came out real fast. So a lot of I'm not even gonna say a lot. We don't know what the heck is gonna happen, the effects 10 years from now, 20 years from now, shoot, even 5 years from now, because it's only been like a year or something since it came out. So the long-term effects. Shoot, remember the movie I Am Legend? Remember the Dr. Kripken in the beginning when she was on the news talking about how she cured cancer, and she cured 10,001 people of cancer. She had 10,001 patients with cancer, and she cured all 10,001 of them. And then 3 years later, it went to black, and it said 3 years later or something, and then, it was the world as it was. So, within 3 years, the world went like that on that movie. You have no idea what's going to happen 2 years from now. On that movie Songbird that came out last year or 2020 or whatever, that was like what? COVID 2023? 2024 or something? Look, they be telling us in plain sight. In these movies and stuff that we watching. And guess what? Brad Pitt's even said to you, Brad Pitt said the people that run Hollywood are the people that run the world. How true is that? Now, if there's some truth to that, then can they be like showing us a glimpse of the future with these films and stuff? Could be. Oh God, let me say. Michelle said, "Yeah, all y'all mother suckers that took the jab, they got that Luciferians and the coolies. They cure. They got these people out here glitching." Yup. Now I've seen a video where someone was saying that the people in her area, the people who took the jab, they was acting different. Have y'all noticed that? Like, have y'all noticed like people that you know who took the jab? Like, have anybody been acting different? If you even took it, well, I'm sure if you took it, you probably won't notice or even admit the fact that you did, but or you do. But have anybody noticed people who've had like type of mood swings, or not necessarily mood swings, but just act different? And it don't even gotta be something drastic. Just changes and stuff. Cause nanotechnology is real, and they got nanotech is so good now. They got it down to the point whereas the nanites can combine with our cells and stuff and alter DNA over time. That's the key words, over time. So I mean I'm not admitting anything or suggesting anything. I'm just saying shit is real. Miss Lady says I haven't noticed any difference, but I know two people that did. Yeah, and what happened? What they say? Shoot, I want to know. JR says I'm not taking nothing. Yeah, I ain't taking nothing either. I ain't take it. I ain't been take it. And I caught it. I caught the Omarion. That's what I like to call it. But I caught that New Year's Eve or something like that. It was like New Year's Eve. I got sick. I was sick for days too. And when it got real bad, I thought I was going to die in this joint. Yeah, I was like real messed up. I was so weak. I had to end up taking myself to the hospital. I drove to the hospital, and when I was telling them my symptoms, when I was like in registration, they immediately took me to the back, and I thought and I'm mind you, I didn't know I had it at the time. I just was like real sick. But I kind of start thinking I may have had it because I'm like, all right, I'm in the ER. It's late. It's a bunch of people inside here, even old people, like it's these like old ladies and stuff inside there, and y'all jumping me in front of them. And like once they like checked my blood and all that stuff, took my temperature and everything, they took me right to the back and they put me in a room. And the ladies and all of them, like these old, they had them like waiting in the hallway. So that's when I started getting scared. I ain't gonna lie, I got scared because I'm like, all right, y'all put me right in front of these people. Something going on with me. And nurse came in, started talking to me, asking me questions and all that. And he was like, yeah, the doctor be here in a minute. And they took I think they took my blood or whatever. And doctor came in and she was like, how you doing? No, I think I said, how you doing? I said, how you doing? And she said, I'm doing better than you. That's exactly what she said. She said, I'm doing better than you. So as soon as she said that, I said, what's wrong with me? I hate beating around the bush. Like, I just want to get to the meat and potatoes. I'm like, what's wrong with me? And she like, you got you got the COVID, whatever. And I'm like, damn. I knew something was wrong. I'm like, I knew something. And I told her, I said, I knew something was wrong with me. I'm like, because y'all put me back here past them old ladies in the hallway. And I think I stayed there for the night and I left the next day or whatever, went home, whatever. But for like a few days, I felt like I was on my deathbed. Like I was so weak, I was so drained, and I gotten sick all my like my mom and everybody know. All my life, I got twice a year. I get sick. This been happening all my life. I'll get sick like early in the year and late in the year. It always happens. And so I know how it feels to get like real sick. I'm always getting like bad cold and headaches and migraines. I've been having it all my life. But this time, like when I say I was so fucking weak, I couldn't move. You know, I feel like when you sleep and you got like that witch on your back. It was like that times 20, but all over my body with like a real unbearable headache. And then I had like this metallic taste in my mouth. And truth be told, when the metallic taste developed, that's when I drove myself to the hospital because I said, all right, why am I fucking tasting metal? And at first I thought like because like blood kind of tastes like metal a little bit. So I thought I cut myself and my gums or something bleeding. So I'm checking my mouth and I'm spitting, trying to see if it's blood coming out. And it wasn't. So then I started drinking. I started drinking water and drinking tea, trying to see like it was it like some type of taste that I can get rid of. And I noticed it wasn't. And I'm like, all right, let me take my ass to the hospital before I fucking die in a crib by myself. And yeah, that shit real. And it made me realize why a lot of older people or unhealthy people die, because I'm healthy than a motherfucker. And that shit had me feeling like I'm on my deathbed. So if you already got some type of conditions with you, like, man, God be with you. That shit real. This lady said, I know someone who had COVID. He lost his sense of taste. He said it felt like someone was sucking the life out of. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to. That's what it kind of felt like. It's kind of hard to explain, but it felt like someone was like literally sucking the life out of me, and like a weight was on. That shit was really. It was scary. And then I'm like, I got like split custody with my kids, so my kids not always with me. And because I was sick, and I didn't know I had COVID at the time, but I kind of thought I did, so I didn't have them with me. I was in a crib by myself, and I live by myself. And I ain't gonna lie, I was scared as shit because my dad died 2 years ago. Had a heart attack, at work, and he was by himself. And when the job released the cameras, because he did he was like working security for like this this marine club for like these rich people or whatever, and they released the footage to us. And he used to sit at the booth, and the booth is like kind of like the desk was like kind of the booth desk kind of like high, like one of them high security booths you walk in the buildings, and it's like deep. So if someone's sitting down, you can't see him if you walk by. So he had a heart attack and fell. He tried to grab the phone when it first started happening, and he started falling, and he tried to get his breath together and tried to grab the phone again, and he fell, and he was on the floor, and the camera kept rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. And then maybe finally, like an hour or so later, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I do like newsy white people because they do think they do get shit done. And it wasn't for a newsy white person trying to figure out why they haven't seen security. They walked around the booth and seen them laying on the floor, and that's when they called 911 or whatever. So when I was in here sick, after I came home and I'm sick and everything, and I'm feeling all weak and dying, that's all I kept thinking about. Am I going to be in this house by myself dead? Like, is it going to be to the point where as though nobody ain't hearing from me from days, so they finally just come here and find me on the floor? Yeah, that was a scary moment. But I got over it though. God prevailed. Got over it. So my dad, he in a better place. I would like to think so. But you know what though? Like after you pray and stuff, and you start like, you know, um accepting shit. Like if I'm gonna be real, I'm be real. Cause it got to a point where as though I'm like, look, I got it. I'm sick as a dog. And if it happens, it happens. Ain't nothing I can do about it right now anyway, right? It just gotta either let it run its course or take me out of here. So once you start accepting stuff, everything becomes better. That can be a hard pill to swallow for some people, though. Shit, it can be a hard pill to swallow for all of us, depending on the circumstance. Ain't none of us, I know some of us like to think that we're almighty and brave and stuff, but given any type of circumstance, we'll all shit our pants. We're all, you know, got some type of fear in us. Even the most hardest, toughest, well trained Marine, Navy SEAL. All of us we all got our breaking point. But I mean, at the end of the day, let's say, let's just say, we are living in the end. Like these are the last days. It's gonna happen. The next few months, next couple of years, next couple of days, whatever. At the end of the day, like what any of us can really do to stop it? Like, ain't none of us can ain't nothing ain't none of us can do. We all gonna meet our maker. You know what I mean? Um yeah, that can be like that can be like a hard pill to swallow though when you think about it that way. Um that's why you got some people trying to like Bill Gates and others trying to find ways to secrets of life and all that stuff. People are afraid. People are afraid to end to meet that to see that light. And you got so many people trying to figure out ways to prolong it or whatever. Um Personally, I would like to think that if the rapture and everything was like anything that I've been led to believe, then I would like to be around when it comes so I can just vanish, with my father and my everyone else that he calls. But um if that happens though, I mean, if that happens and I didn't, that would be scary. You know what though? Off topic. Well, not on topic. Same thing, but a little off topic. I was talking to my friend Ratsme. She's she's Laotian. She from Laos or whatever. I don't really mean anything. She's been over here for a while, but um, like that's my homie or whatever. But she's a little fucking heathen. Like she's an atheist one, and every time I be talking to her about God and praying and all that stuff, she like, oh my God, I'm about to leave. She always, I be cracking up laughing. So I start praying and stuff on purpose, or like talking about like God and stuff on purpose because it gets on her nerves. But um, but she's open to listening. You know what I'm saying? Like she jokes and all that stuff. Like she be joking when I be saying all that stuff, but it be funny. But she is open into listening, and she like what I was saying, like the Left Behind movies, the Kirk Camerons and all that stuff. Like she actually sat down and watched the movies, all three of them. She sat down and watched them with me. So, and I was like reading like Bible scriptures with her and everything, and trying to like pinpoint certain stuff that was happening in those movies where it came from scripture. And so when the whole rapture point came up and everything, we was talking. So I'm like, all right, you're an atheist. You don't believe. That's fair. I said, now you know what the word says. Like uh when Peter asked him like when be the sign of thine coming, and he was saying, um well, he was talking about the war and all that stuff, but he what chapter was that? Was it Luke when he said that first those who lie in the earth, um he would get those who lie in the wormy earth, and those who are alive and well should meet them up in the air, and they should be with him for all eternity. I forget which passage that's from. Oh, please God forgive me, I forget which one. But it's pretty much the reference of the rapture. And I was saying to her, I said, so if millions of, if like say if all the children of the world just vanish of the world, with millions of people who start vanishing of the world, I'm like, you telling me you're not gonna believe then? And she like, I don't know. She said it could be something else. It could be like some type of aliens or something, or some type of chemical waste. And I said, yo, do you not realize that's the exact same thing they said in the damn movie as an excuse why millions of people vanished? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I was talking to someone else about it too. And I'm like, well, that's kind of like a sign. And the bad part about it is, if that happened today or tomorrow, like if people just start vanishing off the face of the planet, that's really a sign of, like, especially if all the children left anyway. Like if all the children left, if all my kids left and all that stuff, your kids, and like that'll be like billions of kids. I guess it's like billions of kids. I don't know how many kids it is in the world, but it'd be millions upon millions of kids and selected adults to suddenly vanish all simultaneously. That would actually be a good thing. It would be a sign of God. I mean, for us, it would be realistically, it would be frightening because we never seen no shit like that before. But we would just witness a miracle of God. And the bad part about it is, people are so like not into the know, don't know that um people gonna be frightened, and just thinking anything will happen. Like it's gonna be pandemonium all over the earth. It's gonna be accidents too, because somebody might be vanishing who flying a plane or driving a car, or in it's like in the tub. I don't know, something, but um then you're gonna have like probably like a lot of suicides, a lot of heart attacks from the fright. Like, so the world is gonna be in a state of pandemonium, and that is the perfect time for the face of man to step up and present himself as this great and powerful speaker, and try to bring the world to order. And he who I'm talking about is the Antichrist. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. And I'll be wondering, like, when would that time be? And is he around right now? 'Cause I believe he is. I'm probably gonna make a video about that in itself tomorrow, or shit later on today now. But I believe um that he is around right now, and he working his way in the ranks of the corporate field and politics, maneuvering himself to get right where he need to be, right in the position at this right moment, um, to present himself to the world. Like it's too much. It's too much stuff going on right now. Like it's about to be the perfect time for someone to save it all. Like, 'cause this world needs saving. It really do. This world needs saving. The bad part about it is no one can save it but God. But and think about it. I just said it earlier too. We people, we so used to looking at rich and powerful people, as someone to hold their word to esteem or whatever. So that's kind of like how that's gonna happen. This 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 person who's real good at speaking, and you know how to use his words, and charming, and brilliant, and got connections and all that stuff. You gonna come out and let the world know that he is God. And the bad part about it is the world gonna love him for it. Like that's see, a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about right here, a lot of this stuff gets too deep for a lot of people. But the reason why I keep bringing it up, because in retrospect, it goes hand in hand with everything that I've been saying all along, because these people who run the world, these people like Bill Gates and everyone, like all they are puppets for all this stuff to happen. Like, if the Antichrist was going to rule the world, if he was going to present himself in scripture, and even like in everything else, it only happens when the world becomes in such a great turmoil that it needs saving. And look at the world right now. Like, this world is getting worse and worse. People keep thinking that it's getting better because of the years that's going on. Oh, it's 2020. Oh, it's 2021. Oh, it's 2022. Next year, oh, it's 2023. Like, people say that like that's supposed to mean something good. Oh, it's 2024. Like what the fuck does that mean? Like, stuff don't always change for good. There is a thing of de-evolution, of devolving. That that is a thing. And if you ask a lot of uh scientists right now, a lot of them seem to think that we are. And if you actually think about it, we are. 20 years ago, we can remember 20 different phone numbers because we had no choice but to. Can we do that now? Can you remember 5? It's hard for me to remember 4. Look. It's this shit is a game. It's like this whole life thing. It's not a game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. It could be a game for some, but for us, for humans, it's not a game. It's a test, though. His whole life is a test. And the bad part about it is a lot of us fell in this shit, including myself. Like, I'm not exempt. So when I talk negative or if I'm like saying stuff about people and stuff, like in most cases I'm always involving myself. There might be some exclusions, but most cases I'm putting my whole self because I ain't nobody different. I ain't special. I ain't I ain't none of that. And we all got our flaws. I was just talking about a whole rapture and disappearance. I believe that if that shit happened today or tomorrow, I won't be one of them. Be honest with you, I'll be left behind with the rest of y'all. You know, but as long as my kids go, I'll be good. I'll be cool. Hmm. Mm. I just wish. Hmm. I just wish that I was. Well, I ain't gonna say I wish, but I would have liked to seen a different time period. You know, like I would have liked to seen. Would have liked to see what another era would have been like, because I would like to know how the people feel about life then. Like, did they think the same thing back then, or like, did they feel like it was the end? Was it so bad? Like, what was happening? Because I don't know. Like, I haven't been nowhere throughout history except for since 1984 up until now. But just from what I know about history and everything, it just seems to me that like everything is getting bad and worse, and it's like I've been saying near the end, and I asked the question like, why the hell did I have to be born in this damn time right now when all this shit going down? Like, why I couldn't have been born like 3 generations ago? And that might sound funny because me being a melanated people, you know how we were being treated 3 decades ago or generations ago. But I mean, mm like, what would be the lesser? Let's just say this is the end. This is like humor me for a second, because we don't know, so we can't say it's for sure. But just humor me for a second. Let's hypothetically say this is it. This is the end. We about to go. Let's just say the world by the end next year. We about to go. Would you rather be living now, knowing the world about to end, or if you had the choice, would you go back 3 generations ago, knowing that it was a lot of slavery and stuff? That's only if black anyway. Like, pretty much pick your poison. Which one would you rather have? That's some tough choices, right? Well, it's not tough for me. I'd rather go back 3 generations ago, 4 generations. Shit. She, she said, "Hell no, I wouldn't make it as a slave." I'm probably just talking that way because I'm not a slave. Like, shit, if I was back then, you know damn well I wouldn't be talking this way either. And I know how to take care of myself, you know. So, um, I'll be one of those martyrs, you know. I'm gonna die for my cause. But I don't know. I just don't like the world as it is now, man. Like, truth be told, a lot of times I don't I don't be thinking like, how can I put it? A lot of times I be wondering like if if society collapsed right now, how would the world be? Like, would it make it better or whatever? Like, I know it would be bad, but would that humble a lot of people? Would that, give people more of a sense of purpose because we won't be so distracted? So I try to look at stuff that way sometimes. Like, I know there's gonna be a lot of damn deaths and a lot of mayhem and all that stuff. But like, when the smoke clears, would that be worth it? And then I had an epiphany earlier tonight thinking about it too. I said, well, damn, does that make me does that make me kind of like a Bill Gates, one of them? Because that kind of sounds like the way they think, like sacrifice for the greater good or whatever. I start thinking, well, shit, am I just like them? Because a lot of times we hear these billionaires talk about, cleansing the earth and all that stuff. And we see like depictions on it in film and TV and stuff, comics and cartoons, and there's always like, some crazy genocide, but it's supposed to be like a overall good reason for the genocide, to save. In essence, like Thanos, he snapped half of the universe to save the other half. If not, then the whole universe would have been destroyed. You feel me? So like, that's how I know. That's how I know I ain't perfect, because I be having some crazy behind thoughts in my head. But I just don't like the the violence and all that stuff. And like this is not me saying kumbaya and everybody on some hippie stuff saying, hey bro, smoking weed and all that stuff, joints, and just peaceful and bliss and all that stuff, and you seeing rainbows and lollipops and sugar plums and stuff. Like, ain't got nothing to do with that. It's just like misery and wickedness and evil. I can't take it. I don't I don't like it. And I've always been the person who stood up to the bully or tried to like bully the bully. You feel me? Like I've always been that person who fought the bully or whatever. And it's like I'm trying to fight a bully I can't fucking see. I can't fight. And it's frustrating because it ain't shit I can do about it. But I want to, and I know I probably shouldn't, but I do. I want all this shit to stop. I'm tired of I'm just tired. I'm tired. I don't know. I think I'm like this now because I grew up such an ambitious optimistic. I've always been an optimist. Which I'm still sort of am, as some of y'all can probably can gather by some of the stuff that I be saying. But um, I like my daughter. She kind of reminds me of me when I was a kid because like she's just so hopeful for the future and all that stuff, and just like life is great and grand. Like she's just so head up in the clouds, pretty much, like how I was. And like when you come down to reality and you just see the world just hits you and it just gives you dirt, and it's like, damn, this is life. This is the real world. Like one of my best friends, man, my man, we grew up in the sandbox. Oh, he's like a real bad alcoholic. Like to the point where his livers and stuff messed up. And he's too damn young. We young boy. Like, are we 37, so we ain't young boys, but we ain't old heads. You too young for that. And I was just talking to him yesterday on the phone. Like he called me like 11 something in the morning. I forgot where I was at. I think I was driving. I was coming from somewhere, and I was on my way home though. And we talking, and he just like shit faced drunk, and it's like 11:30 something in the morning, and he in the rehab right now because like 4 or 5 days ago he done broke his damn foot, fucking being drunk some damn where. He don't even remember what happened. He just called me like I'm in the hospital. At the time he's in the hospital with a damn broken foot. I'm thinking he probably got rolled on. He probably got beat up and some shit. Don't fucking remember. All drunk and shit because that happened before. And I'm like, that's this dude. And all the stuff that I'm talking, all like a lot of the content that I talk about with you guys, me and him, you should just talk about this stuff. Like we grew up talking about this stuff. Like if you see like the way I talk, this is second nature to me because I've always been like on this type of time. And it was me and him. And like he just like letting us like life go, whatever. And it saddens me because he been like this for a while now, and ain't nothing I can do about it. And it started back when we was young boys. Like we was young boys, always going out to parties, going to clubs, like getting high, drinking and stuff. But it was something I like doing on weekends or just going out. I don't like drinking and like first of all, I'm not really a drinker. I get drunk off a half a beer, literally. I can literally get drunk off a half a beer. And but smoking weed was my thing. But it was something I like doing like on weekends or whatever, or at night. This dude want to do it every damn day, all day, every day. Like no, like, you. Mm. And like, and I was just talking to this dude yesterday, and he talking to me about a video that he seen me put up, and he was like, he just was watching the news because actually, I think he the one who put me on to the whole the video I just made. What video I made yesterday? I've been making so much stuff, but he put me on to the whole stuff that's happening over um in Russia. My man Kells or whatever, and I be mad because I be like, bro, you need to get yourself together and start like talking about this stuff or doing something. Cause he be like for example, he see me. I got social media platforms and stuff and do my thing. I'm like, bro, you could do the exact same thing. Like, and you got a lot to say, and I was like, if you don't mind doing it, because he was saying he always talking about he trying to get himself together. So I said, well, look, that's a beautiful thing, and you checking himself to rehab. I said, well, look, if you don't mind doing it, you can actually record yourself because you already messed up right now. But you got you got a sober enough mind to say I want to get myself together. I'm like, bro, record your journey, your process. I'm like, that's an excellent story. I'm like, bro, you fuck around can do that. I'm like, I can help you start a YouTube channel and all that stuff. I'm like, can do that. You fuck around and grow faster than me. And I don't even care. You know what I mean? As long as he gets himself together. I'm like, because that's something that people need to see. I'm like, you probably can title your channel something like from drunk to sober or something, from intoxicated to sober. Something like that. Like and just like do like little short 3 minute daily vlogs of you like on your progress. He didn't even do that. And I mean I get it, like he gotta work on his own time, but I had to like yesterday we was talking. He likes to ramble. Like we both be like me, myself, I'm rambling right now. So we both like doing it. But he likes being drunk doing it. So when he does it, he slurs and it sounds like that. And a lot of times he don't be making a lot of sense. Not from how it sound, but just the stuff he be saying. Like it don't make sense. It don't be adding up and stuff. And so I had to hang up on him yesterday. I'm like, look, bro, we talking about the same stuff every single day. I feel like a broken record because you keep telling me stuff and I keep trying to find solutions. I can't really listen to people problems without figuring out solutions. Like maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. But I'm one of those people, instead of talking about it or just talking about it, all right, let's talk about it. Get off your chest. All right, now let's figure out the way to fix it. Because when you just keep talking about it and talking and you're not doing nothing, then it's just a waste of time, waste of energy. It's just hot air. And I don't like just talking. I've always been that way. I've always said I wanted to do something, then I'll do it. People, Kels, he don't want to do that. So I'm like, look, bro, I got content I gotta create, and I can't be on the phone with you for 3 hours. Like we be on the phone for like 3 or 4 hours, like he my woman or whatever. And that's like I said, that's my best friend, that's my homie. You know what I mean? It's the sandbox. We grew up in the projects together, so I be trying to, you know, talk to him, and he in the rehab right now, so I don't just be wanting to hang up on him and stuff. But I'm like, bro, you know what it is. This like the stuff that I'm talking to y'all about. He know. I'm like, bro, you know what it is. You know what the world is like. You know what it is, and you falling for the okie doke. You not getting yourself together. Like, bro, I'm trying to um do something with myself. I'm at a point where as though in a few years, like I will be real good. Like maybe like in another 2 years, three the most. I can't be distracted. You know, I gotta keep my head down and constantly keep working. And I just wish that a lot of people was thinking like that, especially the people that I care about. You know, I mean, shoot, if we all can think like that, that'd be good too. But people that I care about, like, I just wish that we was all like that. Said Grey Goose, orange juice. You funny. You funny. Yeah. Yo, this dude be drinking four locals and still and he'll drink some hot ass still reserves. Hot. Like he'll have it sitting. I'm like, bro. I remember one time I had a still reserve probably like in 2003, 2002. I'm not drinking that. You tripping. Like I buy um like when I go food shopping, because they got like the beer and wine section in markets now, I'll buy me like a 6 pack of Michelob lights or like a lime or something, and I'll like sip on that throughout the night. Like I'm such a lightweight. Like, and I like that because I like the taste. Probably because I grill a lot of my food. I like the taste of like grilled food and like kind of like a barbecue, like barbecue food and beer together. I think it just tastes so good. But um, our beer got to be light. It got to be like damn near water. So I drink like a Michelob light, maybe like an Allagash white or something like that. Um, maybe a Rolling Rock. But I can't mess with all that other stuff. And then when it comes to liquor, yeah, I get drunk. I didn't realize I was online this damn long. I really didn't plan on being this long. I just kept talking. But I guess I'll finish up because it's so much to talk about. So I figure I'll just keep talking. So again, with this whole um this food shortage thing, because it still goes on. It's right on the line with this video, with the original topic with this video anyway. This food shortage stuff is real. Uh, Prices of eggs and milk and all that stuff is going up. Um, Now, it's one good thing I can say is that I've noticed that uh um is wherever y'all at, is there people like certain times of the month handing out crates of milk and canned goods and all that stuff, like maybe like some type of poultry and all that? Like, do they do that? Because they do that in Philly. I'm not sure if they do it anywhere else, but it's people out like maybe like every Wednesday or every other Thursday or something like that. It may be like at a church, or they might be just like on a random corner, or like some type of in front of like a center or something. It'll be like people, and there'll be like skids of food. They giving out food, whatever, and it's usually like milk, canned goods, maybe like some rice or something, some chicken or something like that, and they giving it out. So I like that. And I remember one time I seen someone doing that. I had stopped and grabbed like 7 of them joints, and I gave like 5 of them out, and I kept 2 of them myself. And I was like, shoot, it wasn't no shame in my game. I kept 2 of them. I threw the meat away because the meat was, I think it was already cooked meat, and I don't like stuff like that. I like cooking my own meat, so I threw that away. But like the canned goods and the milk, oh yeah, I use that. So I like seeing stuff like that. I want to see how long, if if all this stuff becomes like real scarce, how long stuff like that is gonna last. Because it's gonna get real scarce real soon. I was just watching a video last night with Spiritual Soul. I don't know if any of you know who Spiritual Soul is, but y'all should probably go check his videos out and go subscribe to he's on YouTube and Instagram. Go check him out. Uh it's so crazy. I'm telling y'all to check him out, and his fan base is way bigger than mine. He got like millions of subscribers. But um I was watching his video. I check in on his stuff every now and then, and he was talking about how he was saying the same thing that I've been saying for all a while. So I'm like, all right, it kind of let me know, at least other people were talking about the same stuff. But he was saying like how, like by the summertime, by the wintertime, like it's the food problem is going to be so crazy and devastating that people going to be like really out here tripping and being real antsy. Like I was just saying earlier, Peru is doing that now. It's regions in Peru and in the province around them. They starving right now. They feeling the effects of the high prices of food and gas and all that stuff. And those places are slowly, the stuff that's happening over there is slowly happening in other places too. Next year we're gonna start feeling that stuff. I just was making videos about me, fixing up my yard and everything. I'm trying to fix up my yard and stuff so I can start planting because I want to grow stuff like that cuts costs. Now, granted, I said this, I said it too. I mean, if it get real bad, I gotta worry about people, potentially breaking in my stuff, trying to take my stuff or whatever. But I mean, shoot, as of right now, it is what it is. And the people in my neighborhood, though, what makes me want to like grow so much is the people in my neighborhood where I live at now. Just about all of them doing it because I live in this neighborhood where it's like a lot of Indians or like Middle Easterns or whatever. Like I don't know what they are, but a lot of them like drive cabs and stuff because they be having like the cabs and stuff in the driveways and stuff, and they go back in the city. And I'm sitting there. That's so funny. They be the ones in the city driving the cabs, and they come back out and they drive home out the city and stuff. I think that's funny, but they got like it's people on my block. They got like these big tomatoes and pear not pears um cucumbers and like all squash, zucchinis, like a lot like big stuff, not just like herbs and spices, like melons, like real big watermelons. They growing it right in their backyard because like the houses on my block, we got like a lot of space, so you can like do that. So that's the reason why I'm trying to grow because I got a lot of space. It just was a lot of material out there, so I moved it all. Now I'm trying to do something with the space, and growing is one of the best things I'm going to do. So I just think that I just think that that's like important. And I was telling my brother that yesterday because my brother just got home from jail. My brother been locked up for 4 years, 4.5 years, and he acted the same way he was like uh out as far as like you know the clothes and all that stuff. Like buying like the most expensive stuff and all that. Like he used to come over to my crib and and go shopping because I mean I still buy expensive clothes and stuff. Not really so much, but I still got so much that I really don't have to. But I don't do it as much no more because I realize it's not important. I try to spend my money wisely now in other places. Like why waste $1,000, you know, buying clothes when I can use that $1,000 and put it into some damn investments or something or some land or something like that. Like that's the type of time I'm on now. So I was just telling him that because um he do what he do. So he make his money. He make good money. So I'm like, instead of you, you know, wasting hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, like this nigga, he would spend like $400 on a pair of sneakers because he want to buy like Balenciagos and all that stuff and Dr. Martens and going on. He was just up in New York, like he was just locked up. So I get it, you know what I mean? Like do your thing, but now it's like, all right, cool. Now it's time to calm down. Like, 'cause the dude, and he only been on for about like a month and a half, 2 months, probably almost 2 months now. Nigga probably almost blew 50,000. And I'm like, bro, you could have did something else. Now he out the city. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. But now the whole point now is all right, everyone getting out the city and getting out the state. Cause now the point with us is I'm trying to move out of Pennsylvania. Like I got out the city, now I wanna get out the fucking state. And I wanna either check on my land that we got down North Carolina. If we can't do anything with that, I wanna buy some damn land. Like that's my whole thing I want right now. That's what's gonna make me happy. So all my hustling, everything that I'm doing right now is for that. It's for me to get away, for me to like save up like, my nest egg so I can go some down where and live off grid. Live in a damn bunker. I would love that too. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like a big bunker, like not nothing small, but something like real big and spacious, like underground. I would love that personally. Oh, you did? Miss Lady said she moved from PA. Oh, what part of PA? You said PA, so I'm assuming it's not Philly. Because usually people from Philly would just say Philly. Yeah, my mom, she trying to move to, what did she say, Oklahoma? I keep forgetting if it's either Oklahoma or Ohio. Ohio. Cause ain't it's Columbus in Ohio, right? She trying to move to like Columbus, Ohio, like the suburbs out there. Um. Oh yeah, that's right. You did say that. You said that last time. I'm sorry. As soon as you said Chester, I remember you said that before. Yep, Chester. I used to mess with some girl who lived in Chester a couple years ago. Her name was Crystal Valentino. I wonder if she's still out there. But yeah, my mom she trying to move to Ohio. I'm trying to move to Canada. Say no, no. Realistically, I do want to go to Canada, but that's too damn far for everybody. So I probably would like settle like in Atlanta or maybe like maybe the Carolinas, certain parts of Virginia. Although Virginia is real racist though, from what I gather, and I've been traveling Virginia since a kid a lot. It depends on where I'm at. Like maybe like parts of Colonial Williamsburg. I don't know, but yeah, I don't really know too much about that. But I like Atlanta. I like the Carolinas. I like Texas. I love Texas because I like the gun laws in Texas, and Texas is so big, the land, like the stuff, like the land that I got here, like what I pay, I can have like some fucking big land somewhere else, and it's too expensive here. Like and they doing gentrification here, um, like in Philadelphia, like in my mom neighborhood, they doing gentrification, so they renovating all the homes. They paying people to move out. That's truth be told, that was actually how I moved out of the city. Um, Owners bought the apartment building I was staying in. They was paying people to move out. I happened to move. I ain't had nowhere to go at the time. Like I didn't have no apartment or nothing at the time to go straight to from where I was at. So I was staying with my friend from Laos. I was just telling you about, like, the Laotian girl. So I was staying with her, and she got a big house up at Darby, and like out Harrodtown. I don't know if any of y'all know about Philadelphia and the suburbs of Philly and stuff, but she was staying out like the Harrodtown part of Philly. That's like up at Darby or whatever. And I was staying with her for like 4 months looking for a place. And I like being out there so much. I got so used to it. I said, you know what? I'm not going back to the city. I'm staying out in the burbs. I started looking for a crib out and I stayed. So like I want to go a little further now. I want to I want to I want to get out the state. Like 'cause it's just too, it's crazy. And although my area is cool, but like my mom and them still stay in the city. Um, my kids is in the city when they with their baby mom. When I'm with my blah, blah, blah. My kids still in the city when they're with their mothers, because both my baby moms still stay in the city. Um, and that's why my kids, like, especially my youngest, like my oldest daughter, she don't like really being with me now because she's like, she older. She at that age and shit where she being grown and sneaky, and I don't let her do what she want to do. Her mom is a little more lenient than me, so she'll rather stay with her mother. Cool, stay with your mom. But my two youngest daughters, they love it. They don't like being with their moms. They like being with me. And uh, so much shooting and stuff in the city. I don't like that. I don't like them being in the cities at all. I would just rather have them with me all the time. I mean, but they mom's not gonna do that though. And like where I live at, all right, granted, my two oldest daughters, um, they go to like the best schools within the city, and they like, and they downtown or whatever. So like their schools are good, so that's cool. Um, but just the same, where I live at now, because of my zip code and all that stuff, my region, they can be going to schools out here and getting better, having better opportunities and better programs and stuff, and better, you know, chances for like better colleges and all that stuff. And like is different stuff, because like I'm not too far from my friend Ratsme, and her nephews and stuff. Like one of her sisters live out Harrod Town too, and her kids goes to the school districts and them out there, and is is totally different from the schools inside the city. Like totally different. And when they graduate, they go to like the like certain different colleges and all that stuff. It's just like different opportunities. And I was trying to talk to my kids' moms about both of them because I got two different baby moms. Like my youngest daughter is from someone else. So I'm like, look, if the kids stay with me, they can have, uh, go to better schools and all that stuff. Like I'll even drive them every day if the school bus not gonna get them. But the kids' moms don't want to. Eh, like I ain't really mad at them about it, cause I get it. I mean, I probably would be the same way if I was them. Like, no, you ain't gonna take my kids away from me. So I mean, I get it, but I just would like if we could just have like some type of compromise we can arrange or something like that. Maybe maybe a little later. So, cause I'm not going back to the city, so maybe we got some time. We can do something like that. Plus, the way um my youngest daughter's like they with me so damn much. Um, Mom's gonna might end up just saying like, just let them stay with you anyway. So that's cool. Said, do you have baby mama drama? Absolutely. Yeah, baby mama drama. My baby mamas think I'm rich. A lot of people think I'm rich. People think I know because of the way I carry myself. Not rich, you get what I'm saying. Like they think I'm just like well off and shit. And they see me do, cause I got my own construction business, and I do like my ones and twos on YouTube and stuff. So they be money. That's what it's all about. Money. I'm like, damn. And every month I gotta pay money. Mm. But I'll tell you what though. As much as those girls get on my damn nerves, and I can't stand them and they can't stand me, they still my girls. They always gonna be my girls. Like they had my girls. Shit. I got 5 girls I have to deal with for the rest of my life. My 3 daughters and both their moms. That's 5 females I have to deal with for the rest of my life. So I gotta get used to it, right? Uh, I'm trying to get to a point. I'm trying to get to a point where I can be on some Country Wayne. You know the comedian Country Wayne? I think he got like 6, 7 baby mom, but he take care of all of them. I'm trying to get to a point where I can just do that, so they can just leave me the fuck alone. Like, uh, it's probably gonna take me. It's gonna take some time, but I'm gonna get to that point. And Yeah, I'm gonna try to buy them like a house or something. So that'd be cool. And well, my first, my two oldest daughters' mother, she got a house. Um, my youngest daughter mother don't. She the one who need more help than anything. She's the oldest one. Well, she's a little younger anyway. And my two oldest daughters, mom, she just about my age. I'm still older than her, but she just about my age. A little more stable as far as finance. I wouldn't say mentally, 'cause no, mentally she's unstable. But but shoot, especially with um the help of child support. Like I'm not ashamed to admit that I paid child support for my kids. Um and I'm not even gonna lie. At first I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Because I don't like authority and I hate people telling me what to do. So I hate people trying to control my pockets and say what I gotta pay and what not to pay and all that stuff. But after I calmed down and got over my pity party and all that bull crap, it made me realize. I said, well, you know what? I don't gotta go all extra and hard and all that stuff no more. Just take it right out of my damn money. So if I choose not to do something, can't get mad because you got the support. So I don't even care anymore. I'm at the point where I welcome it, and um, I look forward to paying it every month, just so I know that my kids. Because one thing I do give my kids' moms credit on is they take care of my daughters. Like they don't let my daughters look bummy. They buy them the stuff and all that. So like that's and they both like that, which is a little surprising to me. I mean, I guess I would say I did pick people who were like that. I guess I just didn't choose white as far as myself. But yeah, they take care of the kids. So I like that's one thing I give them credit on. Mm. And I ain't gotta worry about them like taking all my money and just spending it on themselves. Even though they do spend my money on themselves, but they don't just spend it on themselves. They spend it on the girls too. So that's cool. Why should you be afraid to admit you pay child support? Because it just seems like people does that. You don't notice that people like do that. Um, like people don't want to like first people don't want to know all of their business, and I'm like that too. I'm very private or whatever. But one thing I've figured out if I'm going to be a content creator, um, my life is going to be at some point it's going to be an open book anyway because people are going to be digging into my stuff and finding out backgrounds and all that stuff from me and everything. And I've realized that when I first became decided to become a content creator. So that's why when I speak, I try to be as transparent as possible, and I share all my videos like on my social medias, like on my regular stuff, on my regular page with my friends and family and like people I grew up with who actually know me. So they'll call out my bullshit. You feel me? So I try to be as transparent as I can, like shit that I can remember anyway. There's a lot of stuff I probably leave out. Um, but not intentionally. Some of them be intentionally because some of the stuff ain't none of your damn business. But um some stuff I just be forgetting at the time and I might remember later on. But yeah, I used to be I didn't like paying child support, whatever. Like, truth be told, as a man, I still feel like I shouldn't have to because I take care of my kids. I've taken care of my kids all my life, but it's like water under a bridge, or it's like why cry over spilt milk. It is what it is. Just roll with the punches. That's what most guys do. We gotta live. We just gotta adjust. Stop complaining. Just fucking roll with it, man. So it is what it is. But yeah, my baby moms, they look at me like a cash register or whatever. First, especially the first one. This girl got. That's why. mm. You know what's so funny? You know what? I'm gonna lay it all out there because her lawyer probably listening anyway. But uh that girl be trying to bleed me dry. That's why I gotta that's why it's important. Like, the reason why I'm talking about all this because this is red pill conversation, and it's a segue for any men who might be listening or listening in the future once I'm done and it's posted and all that stuff, can take something from this and learn. But this is why it's important for men, especially black men, but men in general, to be on your purpose and to grind, grind, work. Like, do what you got to do to secure your future, like to have some type of financial stability and freedom. And just not saying like be rich, nothing. I mean, if you can be rich, that's cool too. But you just want to be in a point where um you're not struggling. You're not like working from paycheck to paycheck, or you struggling to pay bills and all that stuff, or just getting on child support and everything. Like, if you're in a, you shouldn't have to be put on child support. Men, I don't think men should, especially men who take care. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't think men who take care of their kids, who naturally take care of their kids, should have to be put on child support. The ones who don't, yeah, you can do that. But if you do, fellas, who you still take care of your kids, then make sure you in a position where it's not hurting you, and you can still live and all that stuff. And shit, if you can go a little further and extra and shit, fuck the game, change the game up, and start like um giving them more money. Because one, when you do that, it looks good. And then two, you only got until they turn a certain amount of age. And if you do it early, if you start paying more than you're credited, so you'll end up getting off of it earlier. So you gotta start looking at it in those terms too. But you know what's so crazy though? If we're gonna keep talking about this topic, um, a lot of broke people, a lot of us like born in poverty and broke and stuff. Like when we hear about, like, all right, for example, like the whole Dr. Dre shit, when he, when his wife divorced him or whatever and took the money and all that stuff. We hear that stuff and we go, oh, that's messed up. That's this, that's that. Oh, she trying to get him, and oh, he's, you know, he probably going through it and this and that and so forth and so on. But y'all not realize that's like broke talk. Like men, people who got it, I mean, I'm sure they probably still feel some type of way because, like I said, like especially when you're a man, like don't nobody want nobody telling you what you got to do and all that stuff. But like, but besides that, you think he really gives a fuck about that? Or like, but when Jeff Bezos divorced his wife, when she got all those billions of dollars, you think he cared about that? Look how much money he got now. He done tripled his worth after that. A lot of men with stature don't mind taking care of their ladies, even if their lady's not with them. Yo, I will never forget this. I will never. This will always stick with me. Because at the time, I was in my blue pill state. I didn't get it. I get it now. Years ago, this was like 2007 or 8 or some shit. I was watching American Idol, um, or watching. Yeah, I think I was watching American Idol or something with American Idol. It was with Simon Cowell. He was still the judge, and one of the ladies was interviewing him, and some of y'all might have seen the interview. Um, they was talking about like his love life, his relationship, and all that stuff. And she was saying, she was like, I heard a rumor that you like, you still take care of your ladies or whatever. You take care of all your women, even if like they're not with you. And he said, yeah, I do. He said because being with me, they grown accustomed to a certain lifestyle. So if you with me, especially if you with me for a certain amount of time, even if we're not together, you shouldn't have to go back to that old. You should, you should stay with that, lifestyle you became accustomed with. So he still takes care of them and shit. And when I think about that today, that is like some boss stuff, like that. Like that is like some G pimping type stuff right there. Like only people who get it get it. And I'm like that now too, as far as my thinking. Like I ain't got nowhere near amount as money as that dude got, but from my level and the level I'm seeking, where I'm going, it's like, all right, I don't have no problem with taking care of a female that I'm with or whatever, maybe with me or and my kids' moms and stuff. Like I plan on buying both of them girls a house and doing stuff so they don't have to really work if they don't have to, just so they can take care of the kids or whatever. Although my two oldest not really that young no more, but just still, because it's like I'm not petty. I mean, I'm petty, but when it comes to my kids and their moms and all that stuff, it's not that really big of a deal to me. Like the shit ain't work out. All right, cool, but y'all still my kids' moms, and I still want y'all to be cool. Like what I look like, living good and living comfortably, and they're like struggling, whatever, or I move out of the state and doing good, and they still in Philly and all this gun violence and all that stuff. Like that's corny. I wouldn't do nothing like that, regardless of how much they get on my damn nerves or I don't like them or whatever. And believe me, me and my kids' moms do not mess with each other. Like it may sound a little the way I'm talking about it. I mean, you may think otherwise, but we really don't. Really don't hate each other guts. But uh not to the point where as though I want to see any harm for them or see them living in a you know badly and all that stuff. I can't do it. I won't do it. If you went in the building, you should share. Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, if you got building, you ain't got to. You ain't got to share. I mean, you should, but you ain't got to. But yeah, I guess you should though. It would be the right thing to do, and I would. You said reparations. Reparations will solve it. Reparations would. Do you think we really ready for reparations as a whole, as a people right now? Like, cause I like right if we got reparations right now as a people, that remember that Dave Chappelle skit from the Chappelle Show when everybody got reparations. That will happen right now if we got it. I ain't even see this. She said, "Oh, y'all creep with with baby mom." No, I didn't have. I didn't touch my baby mama's. Well, no, I'm lying. My first baby mom, I didn't touch her since my youngest daughter with her, which is my middle child. She's 10 years old. The last time I had any type of sex with my first baby mama was 10 years ago, when my daughter was like a month old or some shit like that. I always remember when we broke up because we broke up a month after she was born. She was born February the 4th. I moved out March the 1st. So and I never touched her after that. I'm lying. Maybe I did a couple months at my new place. When me and my because when we first broke up, me and my brother moved in with each other, and she was coming over there. But after she got some new dick, she stopped coming. and I ain't touching no more. So that was 2012. Um, JR say either way would take you to new heights. Well, reparations? Yes, yes. New heights or what though? Because there is a such thing of new heights of calamity, of new heights of failure. Like I think for most of us, like I don't want to make it seem like I'm shitting on what you're saying because I think reparations is good for us. I just believe, and you know it too. If you was honest with yourself, you know it too. The way we are today as a people, our mentality, we're not. Most of us will give that money right back to the white people on our spending habits. A lot of us will be in jail because we will be acting up, acting a fool because we think we rich and we don't gotta do nothing. Like we'll just be in a constant state of euphoria. And if you know anything about a lot of us being euphoric, we act dumb because every time we act blissful, it seems like we can't think all of a sudden now. We go to our childlike state and do any and everything. So when I think of reparations for us right now, yeah, it's something we need. But I think the only way it would work if it was a plan in place to like I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I do not know. I was about to make up something, try to make it sound cute and cool, bro. I don't know. Like it's a good idea. It is, but it's a bad idea too to just give us money. She said, "Isn't California trying something reparations?" Uh, I have no idea. I have no idea. But now that you mentioned it, I'll look into it. Um, if you're talking about something what Tariq Nasheed was saying, then on that front, maybe I don't know. I know Tariq Nasheed be in LA and he be doing stuff out there with people and he's all on talks about the reparation stuff. So I mean that could be something, but I really don't know. This lady said no, it's not a bad idea if they blow it their problem. Yeah. But I'm not really worrying about the people blowing their money. Like, see, look, it might end up being more deaths and stuff. I don't think we should get reparations until we fix our confliction. We have a confliction. We got a problem, and until we get that fixed and addressed, then it's always gonna be there. because we can all have the same amount of money, right? Let's just say the government gave everybody a check for $500,000. Every black person, we all get $500,000, and we all get 2 acres of land, right? This motherfucker right here next to you gonna be he gonna be mad at you because he think that your acres look better than his, or he might spend all his money fast and you saved yours and you looking real good. So you know what? He gonna try to take yours because instead of buying a bunch of stuff that he need and necessities, he start buying a bunch of guns and stuff. So now he got the ammunition to take your stuff. Like that's the type of stuff I'm saying. Like it's we have a problem until we fix the problem with ourselves, with our mentality, the way we think. That affliction or confliction, whatever you want to call it, it would constantly be a problem. And that's not all of us, because the individual, they, we individual think for him or herself. But um, sadly, a lot of us think that way because you see it now. People can have the same exact thing and still want to take what you got. So you just add that with a few 100,000 or a few million. Same thing. Just on it's just going to be on a larger scale. So the problem is not really the money, you know, that it is a problem. The finance and everything is we at the bottom. So that is a problem, but that's not the overall problem. Because the money is just trying to patch shit up. But the problem is the the conditioning, to hating one another, to be jealous of one another. That's the real problem. Once we fix that, you can give us anything, and we can turn dirt into gold. I'm saying, you get what I'm saying, though, Jr. Though, right? But everybody, I know, and there draws the conundrum. That's the that is what we call the that's what we call the Rubicon. Like, everybody can't suffer; those people will always exist, right? That's that's the problem. Like, there always have to be some type of trade off. It got to be some type of balance, right? That's the way of the world. That's how the world works. Everybody can't suffer. So yes, we should, but people like that will always exist. So what do you do? Like, what will be um like, what is the solution? Because if you really, really, really want to get to the meat and potatoes of it, I just said that we got a conditioning, right? I just said we had a confliction. I said we had an affliction. I said that we were messed up and you shouldn't give us money right now because we'll just give it right back to the white man. Ew, the white man. Everybody loves the white man, right? Cool. But the problem is the white man. And I'm sorry for any, white people who maybe subscribe to me and listen to all this. Like, by no means, I mean no disrespect to you, but if it's coming off as disrespect, I mean it kind of is, but it's the truth. And if we're going to talk about this stuff, if we like talking about things and getting to resolve issues, then a lot of times things got to get uncomfortable. See, we like to talk about things and keep it nice and calm and cool and sugarcoat it and stuff, but that's not really actually getting to the problem or whatever. We sometimes we got to get a little uncomfortable, and uncomfortably, our conditioning was put on us from not by ourselves but other people who intended on it. And those very same people are in power now today and ain't trying to give up that power. Not really. They'll let a few of us, in the club or, in the waiting room, i.e., a Jay Z, a Oprah, Tyler Perry, entertainers and stuff, if you will. People that, you know, a lot of us look up to and give us hope for the future. Make us think that we can achieve those American dreams, i.e., Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, and the new judge who just got appointed. But it's just smoke and mirrors. Don't think for 1 second that they'll ever allow all of us to you know do that. Don't ever think that you're going to see hundreds and thousands of black people on Congress. Like, don't think that, because they're not going to allow it. It's all lights and effects. It's smoke and mirrors. It's special effects. If people really had our best interests in hearts, like, this is what I don't get with us. This is why I don't. This is why I get mad at my own people, because I don't get why so many of my own people still cater to the idea of voting and left or right parties. Like it's two sides of the same coin. If people really had our best interests at heart, then we wouldn't be how we are today. Why is it that Ukrainians is getting better treatment than any of us right now? Remember 1993? Remember Kosovo? The refugees coming over here? The Jews, the Germans, the Asians, the Mexicans, they all come over here, getting a clean start, getting government funded grants and all that stuff, living good, and we ain't shit. So why I ain't gonna say we, because I ain't a part of that. Why y'all keep like putting y'all faith in these politicians like they care about you? Why? Because Uncle was with Bill and Barack and them. Even with Trump, I like Trump, but he still got his shit with him too. Both of those parties, Republican and Dems, left, right, blue, red, liberal, conservative, whatever you want to call it. Hey, two sides of the same coin. Ain't none of them got the black people anyway. Ain't got y'all best interests at heart. No. Let me scratch that. I'm sorry. The black Americans, because even Africans come over here doing good. The Jamaicans, the Haitians. If you from another country, you coming over here doing better than a black person who's born and raised here, and that's a fact. I be trying to tell y'all, man. This is a movie we live in. We living in we living in a movie, and we're the characters. A lot of us don't see it though. You know, some people see stuff and they choose to ignore it. Ain't nothing we can really do about it. But what you can do is prepare yourself, prepare your family, you and your family. Move in the world accordingly. This whole life is about adjustments and adaptation, evolving, like rolling with the punches. If you can do that and do it for a little while, then you just might make it. You just might do good on this playing field. Well, I mean, I think that's why like we're being conditioned to like hate, to like not really love one another, like to look at violence like it's normal, like it's okay, to be able to see someone get slapped and call it defense, call it protection, or see someone get slapped and be okay with it because the person who was doing the slapping was protecting someone's honor. And look how that now backfired. Look at him now and look at the things she's saying about him now. Like I've been saying for a while, there's like a lackluster, like a lost for life. for compassion, for empathy, for advocacy. Like all that stuff is all but gone. And people walk around and don't even care to the point where they letting the kids be like that, and it's okay. Bless says she want me to be more optimistic on my next live. Well, I mean, I don't know how long you was on this live before. I don't know if you caught the part where I said I grew up a, a optimist. Like I grew up the optimistic, and if you catching some of the things that I say, I am optimistic about some stuff. It's just not everything. But some things I still have high regards to, and things that I feel real hopeful for. Um, but it's as far as everything happening in the world and everything, as far as the nonsense. If you mean by that I should be more optimistic about it, um, you probably right. You probably right. I can't say that you aren't, but what I can say is that it's hard for me to be optimistic when every single day I'm seeing things that's showing me some terrible stuff. Put in those words. Zero, so I feel you talking points. Right, I can dig it. Thank you. Hold on, it's my daughter. Hold on. Yeah,
Are you making food?
right now?
Yeah.
No, in a minute. Shit, it's like almost 5:34. I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts or something, McDonald's in a minute. It's about to open up.
Okay.
All right.
Bye bye.
Mm. She gonna ask me, am I making food? Girl, it was like 5:34 in the morning. You tripping? Oh man. You said she preaches to you. She preaches to me all the time about being optimistic. She's right, but it's hard sometimes. Yeah, it is. It is hard sometimes because hold on. Ah, excuse me. Um, it's hard sometimes seeing everything that's happening in the world, and not just happening in the world, but a lot of us be having personal issues with us too. And it seems like it just comes back to back to back to back. Like everything just keep coming, coming and coming and coming. So like it do be hard to be optimistic. But You gotta try to find a way to be optimistic though. Like you need some type of anchor to hold on to. You gotta look at you gotta hmm, I guess I should practice what I preach. I was talking to my friend Alex, the one I said is an alcoholic. I was telling him, I said, bro, you need to make a plan. And um I guess that would be a way for me. That's my optimism, is my plan in life. Like I had a 5-year plan. Um I had a 5-year plan to make 6 figures. I'm almost 2 years in, and I'm more than halfway, almost there. So I'm like, all right, I see it. I see it happening. So that's what gives me optimism. You know, me setting goals and see it actually happening. And not just finance, but just everything, just goals. I was just telling my friend yesterday, I'm like, bro, you need to set a plan and you need to stick with your plan. Set a year plan. Like, it ain't even got to be long. Set a plan because, like, he's a alky or whatever, alcoholic. I'm like, do something day by day. I'm like, I'm like, what would you be? I'm like, where you want to be a year from now? He was telling me where he want to be a year from now. I said, all right, well, bet. Make a plan. Each day, you take it day, step by step, day by day. Each week is a new little semi goal. It's 4 weeks in a month. It's like what, 36 weeks in a year? I'm like, each month will be like, all right, bet. You reached one barrier. Now you got 12 more to go. Like, and once you reach the 6 month point, you halfway there. I'm like, but you have to set yourself up a goal. You got to set a plan, have a goal, and don't just talk about it, be about it. Like I was telling y'all earlier, I hate talking. I hate just talking about stuff and not doing it. Like when people do that shit, that is one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, because you realize how full of shit people are. Like I hate talking about doing stuff and never do it. I don't care if I fail at it. I'm going to try. But a lot of times you got so many people who just talk to talk because y'all talking at the point at that moment. It's conversation. It sounds good. But once y'all leave, exit the room, ain't nobody think about that stuff no more. It drives me crazy. All right. So I mean, I'm optimistic. I'm just optimistic about setting goals and meeting those requirements. As far as everything else, as far as the world and everything is concerned, um, well, I know, I know there'll be no peace in the Middle East. Ain't gonna be no peace nowhere until God returns. So, you just gotta endure. You gotta be careful. Most of all, be careful. Watch your surroundings and pray for others and all that stuff. But truth be told, only thing we can do is just endure. And be silent. You know why? Because they said the meek will inherit the earth. Thank you. I appreciate you. But I'm keeping you in my prayers. JR says being spiritually sound and equally yoked feels good. Yeah, it feels for me. It's it's comforting. It's not comfort. What's the words I'm looking for? It keeps me balanced. Like if I didn't have my faith, if I didn't have my belief system, the way this world is, I have no clue where I would be in life. If I would even still be here. But my belief and my faith is what sustains me. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me focused. Um, it keeps me in the sense of I know what's important in life, and I know the bigger picture. Hold on, let me turn on my heat. Got cold. Whew. But y'all just gotta want to do better, man, in life. It ain't about being perfect. Ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody going to ever reach perfection. So when people be trying to be perfect and trying to do all that stuff, I laugh at it because it's impossible. Um, I believe the goal is to learn, is to make mistakes, is to learn from the mistakes, and adjust and move accordingly. Is to learn learn the word of God and live by His teachings. People think people think people believe. I'm not even going to say being good, but people believe being spiritual or having faith means that you can't, do anything, or that you're square or this and that. Oh, excuse me. And that's wrong at all. And this is not me saying lead by my example because I'm probably the worst example to lead by. But personally, I don't believe you have to be like a robot and all that stuff to get the love and acceptance and all that stuff of God. Like what I mean by robot, like try to be perfect, try to be something you're not, and all that stuff. Um, think about it. Jesus had 12 homeboys, right? It was 12 of them. All his disciples. It was 12 disciples, right? Jesus had 12 homeboys. All his homeboys had something wrong with them. They were a thief, a liar, adulterer, murderer. Jesus wasn't hanging around perfect people. He was hanging around flawed men, flawed women. But they changed their lives. They learned from their mistakes. They adjust. They evolved. Look, right, I feel you, JR. You sound like Tupac right now. No, but I definitely dig you. Shit, that was like my uncle. Did a lot of thug stuff, but he still was righteous in his own right. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna end this live. I'm gonna go live later on. I'm about to um shit. It's about to be 6 o'clock, so I might as well wash up. I'm gonna wash up and start getting ready for today. I'm gonna try to find a McDonald's or something, or Dunkin' Donuts for my daughter because she's hungry. And I gotta get ready to take my uncle to his doctor's appointment this morning. So I had a long morning and I ain't even gonna get no rest. So I'm gonna have to do that, come in the house, and probably try to take like a 3 or 4 hour nap, and then I will finish making some videos later on today. I'll go live later on in the evening. I will make a post notification, so just make sure y'all look forward to that. So make sure y'all um y'all notify, like put the bell all the way up to all. Like when you subscribe, press the bell, and if it turned black, then you know that you all the way subscribe all the way. I mean, you'll be notified. And yeah, but I appreciate y'all. I really do. I appreciate y'all joining the chat. And y'all was on here for a long time with me, so y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but you was here with me, so I appreciate that. And I holler at y'all later on. So good night, good morning. I have no idea in the world where you at, but here in Philly, it's 5:50 in the morning. So I hope everybody have a blessed day. I hope everyone and I got something from each and every one of y'all. Everyone in the comment, I got something from y'all. I hope y'all got something from the conversation that we had. And that's it. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I will holler at y'all. Peace.